What if I told you that almost everything you were taught about Africa was a lie? That the image of poverty, war and struggle is carefully crafted to keep you disconnected from your roots? Africa is a continent rich in history, innovation, and unstoppable potential because we are a rose that grew on concrete. From ancient civilizations to modern-day tech hubs, Africa is shaping the future. It's been overdue, and now is the time to break the cycle of misinformation, propaganda, and sanitized history. Today I'm exposing the biggest lies told to Black people in the diaspora about Africa. So get ready, because this is going to change how you see the motherland forever. Lie number 1. Africa is a country, not a continent. Let's get this straight. Africa is not a country. Africa is a continent with 54 diverse nations, each with its own cultures, traditions, languages, and economies. Thinking of Africa as one big country keeps people ignorant of its diversity. Would you ever say Europe is a country? No. So why do people say it about Africa? Lie number 2. Africa is poor with no civilization. Let's be real. Yes, Africa has poverty, just like America, just like Europe. But do you ever see the thriving cities, booming businesses, and tech innovations? No, because Western media only shows you struggle, making you think Africa is helpless. Meanwhile, Africa has some of the fastest growing economies in the world, with billionaires, luxury lifestyles, and powerful industries booming and growing up. Countries like Nigeria, Kenya, and South Africa are global leaders in the tech and finance sectors. There is money in Africa, but they don't want you to know that. For the poverty part of it, this is what I have to say. I'm going to partially blame Africans for their own poverty. How and why? There is a growing number of people opening up non-profit organizations with selfish interests in disguise of supporting children from poor families in Africa. They gather them in one corner with torn clothes and miserable faces, take videos and pictures of them, and ask for donations and go fund. This has left a negative view of Africa and its people, because whoever is going to watch that video will think that's the situation for all Africans. I'm not saying helping is bad or feeding the hungry is wrong. It should only be done if the intentions are in goodwill, not to make money out of poor people. Lie number 3. Africans don't like Black people from the diaspora. This lie was designed to keep us divided. The truth is, Africans and the diaspora share a deep connection. When I was growing up, me and my friends used to imitate the Black American musician accents, like the Chris Brown, 50 Cent, Ja Rule, and their dress code. We never did it out of hate, no, but we loved we loved their lifestyle. Furthermore, many African nations like Ghana have rolled out the red carpet, literally welcoming Black people home. I'm not going to say by Ghana welcoming you home, you're not going to face any challenges, you're not going to face any scams. Just be careful. Because I know there are so many people now. I'm not a Ghanaian, but I know Africa. Yes, they are calling you home. Ghana is calling you home, but there are opportunists out there who will want to take the opportunity to scam you of your money or anything. So just be careful with whoever you deal with. At least let it be a honeymoon and a good stay in Africa. Not a bad reputation, or not a bad, I wouldn't want you to face it rough because you dealt with wrong people. We love you as Black Americans, Black people in the Caribbean, Black people in Canada, or Black people in the diaspora at large. But we also want you to keep yourself aware that not all that glitters is gold. Try to deal with the right people to avoid scams. We are one people, and the more we reconnect, the stronger we become. Line number 4, Africa is unsafe and full of wars. Africa is just diverse in safety as anywhere else. Some areas have conflict, yes, but millions of tourists visit places like Egypt, Zanzibar, and Cape Town every year without no issues. This one is wild because guess what? Many African cities are safer than American cities. Think about it. Do you feel safe in the US? 100% safe. With this whole gun violence, police brutality, mass shootings, you can't be safe. Meanwhile, most African countries have lower crime rates. Sure, some places have conflicts, yes, but so do Ukraine, the Middle East, and even parts of America. It shouldn't be a topic that the whole of Africa has conflicts and is not safe. Line number 5, there is no opportunity in Africa. They tell you there is nothing for you in Africa, but the truth is, Africa is full of opportunities. Land, business, real estate, it's all there. Black people from the diaspora are moving back, building wealth and escaping racism. They don't want you to know this because if you start going back and investing, Africa will rise even faster. I know you may ask me if there are opportunities in America or in Africa. Why are Africans running in the US, running in North America, Europe? And this is what I have to say. It is because of low salaries that many Africans move for greener pastures, just like any other person. I've met people who are in Canada, who are in the US, coming from the UK, coming from New Zealand, coming from Switzerland, coming from all parts of the world. Well, they are also moving not because there are no opportunities in their country, but they are moving for greener pastures. Getting that fat paycheck in the US is a life changer. I call it fat paycheck because in the US, of course, it's not fat, it's just a paycheck. But when you spend it in Africa, it's a fat paycheck. Man by nature is never satisfied, always hungry for more. You started as a concierge and you are now a human resource manager. Still you want to become the general manager or CEO. That's who we are as humans. When you look closely, many Africans you see in minimum wage jobs here in the US are rich investors back home. From janitors to factory workers or any other low-end job you could think of. This implies there are opportunities in Africa. I'm not saying this to impress you. I'm not saying it to lure you into coming to Africa, but that's the fact. Line number 6, Africans have no houses. They live in the forest with wild animals. Let's be real. Do you see lions roaming the streets of New York? No. Then why do people think Africans live with elephants in their backyards? Africa has amazing wildlife, that's true, but it's in national parks and reserves, not in people's homes. In cities like Accra and Kigali, Johannesburg, Kampala, you'll find malls, highways, and Wi-Fi just like anywhere else in the world. In many parts of North America and Europe, kids grow up with no information about Africa, which is mainly that everywhere in Africa, people live in huts and on the land. People from Africa may be upset to hear about this, but the reality is that most blacks in the diaspora, if it's not the internet, would never have known how beautiful the motherland truly is. Many African American kids are scared to visit the motherland, thinking it has animals running around. This propaganda has not only affected kids, but also the elderly who think we play with wild animals. Lie number 7, Africans don't have modern technology at all. This one is just very funny. Some people think Africa is stuck in the past, but did you know mobile banking started in Africa? Apps like M-Pesa in Kenya changed how money moves across the world. There are African developers creating apps, AI technology, and digital innovations. Africa is not just keeping up, it's leading in some areas. For too long, Africa has been misrepresented. But today, we take back our story. Africa is not a land of poverty and struggle. It's a powerhouse of culture, innovation, and resilience. The world needs to hear the truth. If this video inspired you, don't just watch and take action. Hit that like button, share this with your friends and family, and subscribe for more eye-opening content about Africa's real history and future. What's the biggest lie you've heard about Africa? Drop a comment below. Let's change the narrative together. Stay woke, stay proud, and see you in the next video. Bye-bye.